You've probably felt it. A few days after landing in Thailand, you started feeling strangely lighter. Your head felt quieter, you slept better, you stopped overthinking conversations, and maybe, for the first time in years, you felt like yourself again. But why does that only happen here in Thailand? สวัสดีครับ Welcome to Thai Decoded. I'm Thanong, I'm Swiss Thai, and I decode what Thailand reveals about you. I've been talking to a lot of people in my community lately, expats, travelers, people who spend time here, and one thing keeps coming up. They all describe the same feeling. Something shifts when they arrive in Thailand. They feel calmer, clearer, lighter. But when I ask them what actually changed inside them, they struggle to put it into words. For a long time, I couldn't explain it either. It wasn't until I started looking for the psychology behind that feeling that everything started making sense. That's when I realized I'd been asking the wrong question all along. In this video, I'm going to decode exactly why Thailand makes you feel lighter. By the end, you'll understand what feeling lighter actually reveals about the life you normally live. And I'll show you how to recreate more of that feeling wherever you are. If you have ever been to Thailand, you have probably felt this. A few days after landing, your heads feel quieter. There is less stress running through your mind. You sleep better and it feels like someone removed a heavy weight from your mind. That feeling actually has an explanation. There is an Australian psychologist named John Sweller who spent years trying to understand one simple question. Why does your brain suddenly feel overloaded even when none of your problems seems that big? He called it cognitive load theory. Imagine your brain is like a computer. If you keep opening app after app after app, at some point everything starts slowing down. Now, picture a normal weekday if you live in the US, Canada, France, Germany, or almost anywhere across Western Europe. You wake up and immediately wonder how bad the traffic will be. At work, you are trying to stay focused and perform well. When work ends, you go home, open the mailbox, and find a bill you weren't expecting. Then, when it's finally time to sleep, you are lying in bed still thinking about the meeting you have at work tomorrow. Before you finish one task, another one is already waiting. Here is the problem. Every unfinished task takes up space in your mind. It's not one huge problem. It's 10 small ones. Each one seems harmless alone, but when you put them all together, they become heavy. Now, watch what happens when you arrive here in Thailand. You need to go somewhere. You open Grab. No route to plan, no parking to think about. You are hungry? Same app. No groceries to buy, no dinner to organize, and because you are on holiday, you are not thinking about work anymore. Without even noticing it, being in Thailand removes one thought after another from your mind. Every small thing you no longer have to plan creates a little more space in your head. That's why your mind feels quieter and you sleep better here. You didn't become a different person. The rules of the game changed. Thailand gives your brain less to carry, so naturally, you feel lighter. Something changes when you arrive here in Thailand. People smile, ask where you're from, and seem genuinely interested in you. And at some point, you start feeling more noticed, more appreciated, more confident than you normally feel. That feeling is real, but the explanation might surprise you. Psychologist Leon Festinger wanted to understand how people measure their own worth, and what he found is uncomfortable. Your brain has no way of knowing how valuable you are on its own. So, it constantly compares you to the people around you. He called it social comparison theory. Think of it like a mirror. You haven't changed, but place yourself in a completely different social environment and suddenly you see yourself completely differently. You've been surrounded by the same people for years, colleagues who remember your mistakes, friends and family who already know your story. After seeing the same reflection for so long, you stop questioning it. That's just who you are. Your brain compares itself to the people around you, finds its place in the group, and turns that into a feeling. And that's why the same person can feel completely different depending on who's around them. Now watch what happens when you land in Bangkok. Here, whether it's Thai people or other expats, most people don't know your past. We don't know what happened to you 10 years ago. We judge you based on the person standing in front of us today. Every new conversation starts with a new blank page. One by one, the labels you have carried for years start disappearing. And that's when you start feeling more at ease and a little closer to the person you have always believed you could be. But here is the part most people never realize. Part of the confidence you feel here doesn't come from becoming a different person. It comes from being surrounded by different people So when you go back home, you don't just leave Thailand, you also leave the people your brain was comparing you to. Think about it. If your confidence only exists in one environment, was it ever really yours? Thailand doesn't change you. It simply changes the people your brain used to measure you. And that's one more reason why you feel lighter here. In many Western cultures, you are always protecting something. You don't want to say the wrong thing in a meeting. You don't want to look stupid in front of people you respect. You don't want to become the story someone tells at dinner. So you watch yourself. You choose your words carefully. You stay calm even when you are frustrated. You manage dozens of small moments every day where the wrong reaction could cost you socially. Most of the time, you don't even realize you are doing it. It's happening in the background all day long. Every conversation asks for a little self-control. And by the evening, your brain has spent energy on problems you never even noticed. A sociologist named Irving Goffman spent years studying exactly this. He discovered that people spend a surprising amount of mental energy protecting what he called their face, which means their social image. And your brain, think of it like physical threats. For example, a public mistake, a wrong word, someone pointing out your error in front of others. None of these things are catastrophic. But your brain keeps score, and keeping score costs energy. Of course, in Thailand, we also have the same concept. We even have a name for this, Raksana, protecting someone's social image. And once you understand that idea, a lot of everyday interactions here suddenly make sense. You mispronounce something? It's okay. The person you are talking to tries harder to understand you than to correct you. You make a social mistake? It's okay. Someone laughs with you instead of at you. Small moments like this tell your brain that making a mistake isn't a big deal. Your brain quickly learns that social mistakes are less likely to turn into social damage. And when it stops expecting every interaction to become a potential threat, it naturally relaxes. People still notice your mistakes, they just don't make them your identity. And when your brain no longer expects every mistake to define you, carrying yourself suddenly feels much easier. Have you ever caught yourself saying it? Thailand changed my life? Maybe you haven't said it out loud, but you have felt it. Something shifted here. You are calmer, lighter, more like the person you always wanted to be. And your brain points the most obvious explanation it can find. Thailand. But your brain has a habit of jumping to conclusions. In psychology, therapists call this geographic cure. It describes our tendency to believe that changing places will change us. Move from Chicago to Miami. Move from Germany to Thailand. Move from Switzerland to Bangkok. Now think about everything we have uncovered so far. Your brain carried less. You compared yourself differently, and everyday interactions became less emotionally demanding. 3 completely different mechanisms, all moving in the same direction. One country, one conclusion, Thailand changed me. Your brain loves simple stories. Don't worry, that's not stupidity. It's just how your brain works. When several things change at once, it naturally gives credit to the most visible one, in this case, Thailand. But consider another possibility. Maybe Thailand didn't create a new version of you. Maybe it simply changed the conditions that allowed a different version of you to finally appear. The version that shows up when your brain isn't running in the background trying to manage 100 open loops. The version that appears when the interactions around you aren't asking you to protect your image every hour of the day. That version of you is real. Thailand didn't invent it. And once you have seen that version of yourself, it's very hard to pretend it never existed. So, why does Thailand make you feel lighter? Because your brain is finally carrying less mental weight, less pressure, less running through your head every single day. The people around you change the way you see yourself, and everyday interactions start asking less from you emotionally. Because all of those systems shift at the same time, your brain gives the credit to the most visible thing, Thailand. Once you understand that, everything makes sense. The real question is, what does that feeling tell about the life you normally live? Because if 4 different psychological systems all improve the moment you changed your environment, that's not just a travel experience, that's a signal. Something in your daily life was costing you more than you realized. Not dramatically, not because your life is broken, but because weight accumulates quietly, and when you carry it long enough, you stop noticing it's here. So, what do you actually do? The first thing is, stop thinking about Thailand as the answer. Thailand is the diagnosis. What you feel here isn't a place. It's information. It's a feeling. It's telling you exactly what your normal life has been costing you. The mental weight, the constant comparison, the energy spent protecting an image. Thailand didn't create relief. It revealed what was causing the pressure. So instead of asking, how do I get back to Thailand? Ask a different question. What exactly became lighter here? Was it your schedule, the way people treated you, the pressure you put on yourself to maintain a certain image, the constant comparison to people who have known you for years? Those aren't Thailand problems. Those are patterns you brought with you. The second thing is harder. When you fly back to New York, London, Paris, Zurich, or whatever home is for you, don't just miss Thailand. Study what comes back. Notice the exact moment the weight returns. That moment, my friend, is your answer. It tells you what was costing you and where in your life you might be able to create a little more room. You can't move every system to a new country. The goal isn't to recreate Thailand, it's to recreate the conditions that allowed you to feel like yourself. Okay, sorry, I had to switch place. There were too many people around me. It was too noisy. In the end, it's not that bad if I change place because personally, I'd like to share something with you. You know, I was born and raised in Switzerland. I didn't discover Thailand until I was around 19 years old. And when I finally came here, I experienced exactly what so many Westerners described. I felt lighter, calmer, like something inside me had changed. But I had no idea why. It took me years and many trips between Switzerland and Thailand before I finally understood what I had been feeling. Little by little, I realized it took both sides of who I am to get it. Honestly, my Western side helped me ask the questions. My Thai side helped me understand the answers. That's also when I realized how important mental health really is. I created Thai Decoded because I want to keep exploring that Thai Western mindset. I know I've only scratched the surface and I hope we can keep discovering it together. Before you go, I have one question. What became lighter in your life the first time you came to Thailand? I really want to know, so tell me in the comments, and if you'd like to keep decoding what Thailand reveals about you with me, you can subscribe to Thai Decoded. ไว้เจอกันนะครับ